Marcus Rogers, the Brotherhood Exposed. What is this subliminal image showing you? Let's break it down. Marcus Rogers says he got a lot of negative backlash behind this image here. Let's hear what Marcus Rogers has to say. Here is the video.
I'm going to just show you this. So I made this cover, right? And I guess because it's black or whatever, you know what I'm saying, people are mad. They're like, why does he have the crown in his hand? It looks like he's going to put it on Jesus' head. And that's not the thing behind it all. First of all, there's Bible about casting, your crown at Jesus' feet and things like that. And somebody's like, oh, it just doesn't feel right in my spirit. So I put up pictures of the chosen that are very similar to this. And I said, either you're racist or you're prejudiced, or it's just your preference. You just don't like the look of it. But there's nothing wrong with this picture, this image. So God, we're part of the kingdom, and He gives us authority, but we're still servants. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the crown is in my hands. Everything that we do, all the power, all the authority that God gives us, we present our bodies a living sacrifice. And the Bible talks about it. It says we're going to lay, the crowns at His feet, and all just different things. And people just it's like they believe what they want to believe. Oh, see, I told you he was a devil worshiper. All right, man, you haven't even, listened to the music. The music is anointed. These men of God, they love God. They're bold for Jesus. And it's just sad, man. It's just division and arguing and it's just crazy, man. But
Marcus Rogers says, I made this cover and I guess because it is black or whatever, people are mad. He says, people are saying, why does he has the crown in his hand? It looks like he's going to put it on Jesus's head. Marcus Rogers, you say people are mad with you about your album cover because it is black. The color you chose on your album cover is just reflecting the dark God that you serve. And you know this is the truth. Marcus, you say someone said, why do you have the crown in your hand? That it looks like you are going to put the crown on Jesus' head. Well, unless Jesus now looks like a demon, this is not Jesus you are appearing to put a crown on. People, does this image look like the face of a human? I don't think so. So I don't know who it was that thought Marcus was putting the crown on Jesus' head. But people, this is a subliminal image of the Baphomet. Marcus Rogers is wearing a shirt with a subliminal image of the Baphomet. He is representing his God. I am so tired of bringing this out about this Baphomet boy. But believe me, I will continue if I must. I have dropped in 2 eyeballs to bring out the face of the Baphomet. If you look closely, you can see an X in the forehead of the subliminal image. This X represents the star that is in the forehead of the Baphomet. Okay, you guys, if you look closely here, you see this X right here? You see that? That X represents the star that's in the forehead of the Baphomet. The Baphomet is always depicted with this star in his forehead. Okay, and this is nothing more than a subliminal star here in the bottom of his forehead. So they're letting you know exactly what this is by putting little cues, little hints and cues on what it actually is. So you can see this X here, different little clues on how to tell exactly what you're dealing with here. So you see this X here? You see that, you guys? If you just focus, you can see that X. It's just as clear as day. That X in the forehead of this subliminal creature here is the star in the forehead of the Baphomet. Okay, so that's exactly what that is showing you. Okay, and Marcus Rogers is wearing this t-shirt here, or this shirt here, because he is honoring his god, the Baphomet. The two wide line images on Marcus's shirt represents the horns of the Baphomet. Okay, you guys, so you see these two lines going straight up here, right here, that represents the horns, okay, of the Baphomet. Excuse me. So this is a subliminal image of the Baphomet. So this is the Baphomet, but this is a subliminal image of the Baphomet. And this image here is designed to go into your subconscious mind, because they want you to accept the Baphomet as your God too. The crown itself represents the fire of the Baphomet. So once again, the Baphomet is always depicted with fire coming out of this cylinder here, this container. This container houses the fire of the Baphomet, and that's what the crown represents. It represents the fire of the Baphomet. And this black area here represents the container that housed the fire of the Baphomet. So you guys see this little black part here? You see that right there? That represents this container right here. That's what that represents. This container housed the fire of the Baphomet. So you have the container here, and this crown here represents the fire. Remember, Marcus Rogers' church is called Firehouse because it housed the fire of the Baphomet. And so I broke down this is his like little logo, his brand, or whatever you want to call it, but this is his little logo. And the name of his church is Firehouse, and he says, through the fire to be on fire. So what Marcus Rogers is telling you guys is that it's through the fire to be on fire, is through the Baphomet do one become on fire. And so this is his little logo, and that's where he got his name from, Firehouse. Because all Firehouse means is this container that houses the fire of the Baphomet. So his firehouse is the Baphomet's house. So if you look at his little logo here, you see this area right here, and it slopes down and it comes back down. Once again, it goes up, slopes down, and comes back down. This is the container, people. This is what this is right here. This is the container right here. This is what this is showing you right here. Okay? And you see the fire here, right there? That fire represents the fire that comes out of the container. That's why it's right there on top of the container. And you guys see these lines that come to a sharp point on both sides? That represent the horns of the Baphomet. So it's right here in front of you guys. It's right here. And Marcus Rogers is very grateful that most people don't look at stuff like this. And because he has a lot of followers. I don't know, I think something like 80 million subscribers or 80 million followers or something like that. So he has a boatload of people following him. So he feels good about his cover that he has. But the Most High is exposing Marcus Rogers and for being the devil that he is. I mean, his church is called Firehouse, and all Firehouse is the container that houses the fire of the Baphomet. And he says, through the fire to be on fire. So it's through the Baphomet does one become on fire. Marcus is a proud servant to the Baphomet. He is also a big liar for him too. Marcus Rogers says, that's not the thing about it at all. First of all, there's Bible about casting your crown at Jesus' feet and things like that. No, actually, there is no Bible for casting your crown at Jesus' feet. But the Bible does say something about 24 elders casting their crowns before the throne. But since we're working with feet, I'll humor you. Where are the feet of Jesus on this image? There are no feet to be found. So why would one think you're casting a crown at Jesus' feet? Not even your feet or your buddy's feet are in view. It is only too obvious that casting a crown at Jesus' feet is not on the agenda here in this image. And besides that, we have already established the fact that this is not Jesus, but a demon, aka the Baphomet. So if you're casting your crown anywhere, it is on the head of the Baphomet, as depicted. Once again, people, does this image look like the face of a human that Marcus Rogers so proudly wears? I don't think so. It is a subliminal image of the Baphomet. And you can take that to the throne room of God. People, notice that Marcus and his compadres are standing in a pyramid formation, with the bull on the end. The pyramid sign represents the all-seeing eye of Satan. This individual has played the same hand before in other subliminal images with Marcus. Notice he has on a bull's cap. He has on a bull's cap because he is representing the spirit of Baal on this dark album cover. This demonic entity was around in the Bible days, and Baal is still around being worshipped by many. Remember, demons don't die. Please look at the following clips where he shows his faithfulness to the spirit of Baal. Here he is again, with his bull's hat on. He is also throwing up the Baphomet horns. Like Anton LaVey, founder of Satan's Church. Marcus Rogers says, "Men of God, lead the way. corny Christianity is over with. We are going to push and preach the kingdom, and we will do it with boldness. Marcus Rogers' kingdom that he speaks of is the kingdom of Satan. This demonic spirit Baal is the pushing power behind Marcus's ministry. So this individual is representing the demonic spirit of Baal. And Marcus Roger is proud of it. He is down with the Baphomet. And Baal too. And now you know a little something something about him. Marcus Rogers says, but there is nothing wrong with this picture, with this image. Marcus says, you know, we're part of the kingdom, and he gives us authority, but we're still servants. That's why the crown is in my hand. Well, make that make sense. The only truth is, the crown in Marcus's hand is for the kingdom of Satan. Marcus says, everything that we do, all the power and authority that God gives us, we present our bodies as a living sacrifice, and the Bible talks about it. Marcus says, we're going to lay the crown at his feet. Marcus says, you have not even listened to the music. The music is anointed. Marcus Rogers, you're rambling again and making absolutely no sense. It is on the head of the Baphomet. Do you cast your wicked crown, and not at the feet of Jesus. And if your music is anointed, it is only anointed for the Baphomet. People, wake up to Marcus Rogers. He is such a liar like his father Satan. I'm out. You guys stay safe. Yeshua loves you. Be blessed.